there's no mics on that. So just on top of that, there's no audio. I fixed it for today.
Just cut that out.
Yeah, no, we will. But today, if you want to do it, you've been doing interviews.
I did one, yeah. Cool. So there's all the interviews yesterday.
Yeah, and they're there. There's no audio.
We can use that footage somehow. We can use it somewhere else. And we're back, folks. After lunch, we have the final round here at Summergeddon 2026, Springfield, Missouri. We got the players just setting up here. I'm just getting all the information loaded in here for them. Pulling up the list. We are playing. Looks like the 2 players today will be running linked ley lines for the battle plan. They're just going over each other's lists and setting up the table. There we are, linked ley lines. 4 objectives, 2 greens, 2 reds, and 1 blue in the center. And I'm gonna pull up their lists here in a moment to get you a rundown of everything. While we're waiting, I just want to give a thanks to a couple of our sponsors. Metagames Unlimited for supplying all the terrain and some prize support. Battle Foam, Mind Taker Miniatures, Gray Matter Games, Juochi Bags. got Randy here and Michael. Randy playing Maggotkin and Nurgle, Michael playing Blades of Khorne here. Sorry for the delay, folks. It took a while to track down all of this. The BCP has been giving us some trouble today at the event. All weekend, really.
I do have a cheat sheet that I'll be using. That's all my rules. If we need to look, if you want to look something up, or like, if you hear it, you're like, that sounds weird. We look
All
up
right.
the
Starting out with Michael Callahan's list, he's running Blades of Khorne. He's taking the Murder Host for his battle formation. He's a 3-drop regiment. He's got the Blessings of Khorne, of course, and the Judgments of Khorne, most certainly. He's taking Master of the Path and Attune to Gyran. Very nice. And then we've got in his General's Regiment, the Wrath of Khorne Bloodsucker, holding the Skull Collector and the Argath King of Blades, and then he's got a second Bloodthirster in the same regiment rather. Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage, and that's it for that one. For the second regiment, we got a Bloodmaster Herald of Khorne leading that one, and 2 reinforced blocks of Bloodletters. These are quite potent, very durable units here. 2 wounds a model, you get multiples back every turn. And then to round out that regiment, we've got a Scourge of Gyran Blood Crushers. And now for his final regiment, we've got Karnak and just a reinforced unit of Fleshhounds. A nice mobile piece, give you some options. Very nice. All right, we've got Randy Rodriguez here. Now he is running Wrathful Cycles and Restless Energy for his battle tactics. All right, now for Randy's list, he's a 4-drop. He's running Lore of Malignance and Benedictions of Sickness. His manifestation lore is Kronspine Incarnate. Strong manifestation lore for Nurgle, I think. Now for his General's Regiment, we've got a Scourge of Gyran Rodriguez, of course, with General. I believe this one shuts off recursion within either a 12-inch or an 18-inch aura of Rodriguez. Very good. And then we've got a minimal squad of Nurglings to fill out that regiment. And then the second regiment, we've got Belga, the Cyst Witch, and a reinforced block of Plague Bearers. The third regiment, we have a Harbinger of Decay with the Witherstave, a Lord of Plagues, and a reinforced block of Rock Swords, supported by Sloven Knights, minimum squad. And now, to round this out, we've got a regiment of renown, the Godmark Descendant, Demon Prince, Corpulent Avalanche, and Wings. And of course, he's taken his free Feculent Gnarlmaul. Just gonna update the screen here. Looks like we got everything. Did I get the names right? Flip them. Looks like we just need to flip the names, folks. There we go. Got the screen all set up. Looks like the players are just going over what's place of power, what's terrain, which going where. Let's take a look at the battle plan today. We've got linked ley lines. Looks like a 5 objective battle plan. Two places of power in the center and 2 on the sides in the dead zone. For scoring, it's control 3, or sorry, score 3 if you control at least 1. Score 3 if you control at least 2 or more objectives, and then score 2 if you control any pairs, and then control 2 additional if you control objectives on a linked ley line. Well, that means just controlling 3 objectives in a row, of course, unbroken. So you need to control red, blue, red, or green, blue, green for that. Now the twist for the underdog in this one is rooted in the realm and full of life abilities. So this one is I feel is not terribly impactful, but if you're running in manifestations, it can really pack a punch. So friendly units' weapons have anti-manifestation +1 while those units are contesting an objective that is both controlled by you on the linked lane and on the linked lane line. Sorry. So, and then the other passive is manifestations just have strike first. So, not too bad. Not too impactful though. All right, looks like we've already got the first drop down from Michael. He put Karanak in the 10 block of Fleshhounds. Just want to say I appreciate these players for getting over here so fast and not taking too long for deployment. We'd love to see it. Looks like Randy has finished dropping his first regiment here. He's got what it looks to be the reinforced block of broadswords supported by Belga the Siswitch. If I'm not mistaken, looks like she's probably in the center here. Michael coming in with this second regiment here. It looks like the Bloodmaster and his 2x20 Bloodletters. And it looks like his Blood Crushers will be going somewhere after he gets those up. If you're just tuning in right now, we've got Michael versus Randy here. Michael running the Blades of Khorne, Randy running Maggotkin of Nurgle. Now Michael is running for his battle tactics Master of Path attuned to Gyron, and Randy is running Wrathful Cycle's Restless Energy. Now they're both playing the Linked Ley Lines battle plan. Just going over the list here. Michael is running, just going really quick, Wrathcorn Bloodthirster, he's the general. He's got Skull Collector, Argath, King of Blades. Then to fill out that regiment, he's got a Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage. So double Bloodthirster, pretty strong. His second regiment is a Bloodmaster and 2x20 Bloodletters, so two double reinforced, not double reinforced, sorry, regular just reinforced. And then to round out that regiment, Scourge of Gyron Blood Crushers. And his final regiment is just Karanak and the reinforced Fleshhounds. Now for the Nurgle side of things, on Randy, he's running Taliban of Nurgle. He's got 4-drop. He's got Kronspine, and he's taking the Nurgle prayers and spells, of course. His battle tactics, as mentioned, are Wrathful Cycle, Restless Energy. His general regiment is Scourge Gyron Rodriguez, so a really strong 18-inch or 12-inch aura, I'm not sure which, of no recursion near him, so that's pretty strong right now. And then a minimum squad of Nurglings. And then a second regiment is a Belga the Siswitch and a reinforced squad of Plague Bearers. And then in his third regiment, we've got a Harbinger of Decay with the Witherstave, a Lord of Plagues, and then a reinforced block of Broadswords and minimum squad of Sloven Knights. And then to round out the list, we've got a regiment around Godmark Descendant Demon Prince with Corpulent Avalanche and Wings. And of course, he's taking his free faction terrain, the Feculent Narmal. And it looks like on the Blades of Khorne side, he's left the Skull Altar at home. He doesn't really have anything to use it. so no reason to take it. And he's running the Murder Host, as mentioned, and he has Master of the Path and Attuned to Gyre for his battle tactics. Going over deployment here, looks like we are down to the final drops on Randy's side. Michael's got all 3 down. Looks like he's got a Bloodthirster, his Bloodmaster with 2x20 Bloodletters, and then the Scourge of Gyran, Blood Crushers on the flank, the left side flank here. Randy has got this nice little castle built with all of his units. I think his first drop was the Harbinger of Decay, Lord of Plagues, Rot Sword, Slow the Knights, all kind of in this bubble here in the center. And then Rodriguez is behind them. I'm not sure Rodriguez was deployed yet, but he's right behind them with the Nurglings off to the left there. Looks like the Demon Prince is sitting there too in the left pocket here. And now for his final drop, he's dropping Belga the Sith Switch and the reinforced block of Plague Bearers. A quick thank to our sponsor, Minimag Tray. All your Minimag Tray needs. Schooner Labs. Battle Foam. Grey Matter Games, of course. One of our biggest sponsors for prize support. Metagames Unlimited, of course. Local here in Springfield. A few more. Starforge, Squad Marks. Both great companies. Transatlantis Games. Looks like we're getting into the top of turn here. This is looks like we're getting to deployment phase abilities. Looks like Randy's just giving out some tokens here. Giving out disease to one of the reinforced blocks of Bloodletters here, sorry. It looks like Michael's deciding to take the first turn, seeing as he out-dropped Randy here. Looks like they're just getting they're doing their place of powers. Karnak on the Michael side, and then Randy has the Harbinger of Decay touching the place of power on the right side here. Looks like he's doing some prayer manifestations here. Going for that sweet axe of Khorne, of course. Looks like that's the end of the Blades of Khorne hero phase. Randy debating if he's going to Magical Intervention. Oh, looks like he's going to take some prayer points. He's going to go down to 3 CP there. I think he rolled a 5 there. Pretty good roll. Looks like Michael's going into his movement phase here. Now, the good thing about Blades of Khorne is that they tend to have a pretty quick movement phase. Everything either is moving at you or that's basically it. They're usually just moving at you. Looks like Michael's just trying to gauge where he wants to put his Karanak and Flushhounds. Let's see what Michael's trying to score. Master the Paths and Attune to Gyran in this game. So Master the Paths, he's got to kill a hero, so not really on the table for this first turn, but we've got Attune to Gyran. He could get 2 units in the center here. But let's see if he does it. Now, the only thing eligible to get into the center, I'd say, was probably be the Bloodletters and that Bloodmaster over there, which could be a little risky, facing down that entire Nurgle force, basically. Like, just doing some measurements here, seeing how far he can get. Might be, you know, relying on the fact that Nurgle is basically a movement 4 army. Run roll. I think they go 8 inches on that roll, not too bad. His main goal, maybe his goal might not be to get attuned this turn, but just to activate the ley lines, get them pumping his points, basically. Because if he gets a full score with ley lines, he'll be scoring 10 points, putting him in a pretty good position, making Randy either shift the ley line into his favor or score a tactic to outscore him. Bloodmaster running just to catch up with that block. Don't want to be separated for too long. Yep, out front. Looks like he did it. He got the run roll he needed to get that attuned to Gyran. So looks like Michael will be putting up 15 points on the scoreboard if everything goes accordingly with the right side. He's gonna run the Bloodletters here. Definitely getting on that green objective. Activating the ley line, turn 1. Looks like Michael's just positioning his Bloodletters. Being cautious of that Demon Prince, because that thing, I believe he moves either 10 or 12 inches, and then he hits like a truck in combat, of course. Strike first, and he's got a 3 damage attack that has crit mortals, I believe. So just straight up, he's super beat stick unit. That's not to say the Bloodthirsters aren't the same, but the Demon Prince is about half the cost even, so nearly. Looks like we got a nice redeploy coming out from Randy, a 5-inch redeploy. Going down to 2 CP there. Very nice. Getting that 5-inch redeploy on those broadswords early is really huge. What's up, bro?
How's Kimochi? How you doing?
Oh, we're doing great. Oh, no, I'm all set. I've got my... Yeah, Zeno got me some lunch. Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
How do you like it?
It's pretty sweet, yeah.
Like a sportscaster?
Yeah, basically. We're John Madden over here, man. How are you holding up?
Is this something I'm not necessarily talking about just this, but is this something you think you would help me with each year?
Yeah, I can do this. I'll do it. I'll do it for you, Don.
I do want to say something.
Yeah.
I'm like 900 and something. I can't get my arm. I'm so far.
Oh, it's okay. I understand. Just take your time.
Yeah, but I'm just frustrated. This whole fucking thing is so
Dude, yeah, I've been hearing what's up, so it's like, it's just crashing every round.
No, it doesn't crash.
It doesn't.
When I hit start round, it looks like it's right,
Yeah.
and then at the end of the round, it's not. And I've waited 5 minutes to see if it refreshed.
Right.
At least I don't. It might. The page might have like some kind of XML or something error that's happening that I'm not seeing.
Right.
So that's okay. Are people mad? Are people like having a bad time because of it?
I've only Schmitty walked up and asked if there was a reasoning behind it, and I was like, this is what I know.
Yeah.
And he was like, why does that happen? I don't know, BCP. I haven't heard any negative comments about it.
Next year I'll make sure we have somebody else who can do this. Unless you want to do it too, but I want to kind of get you integrated in leading all the TOs and stuff.
That's fine.
When I thought about trying to get somebody to help me kind of do this part, I thought about you and I was like, I talked to Summer and she's like, well, ask me. So that's why I reached out to you.
Right.
So, all right, Bubba.
So I appreciate it. Thank
No, man. You're one of the few people that I trust, like in this kind of capacity.
you. Okay. I appreciate that.
You're a good guy.
Thank you.
I like your dad too. I never see him before.
He's busy. You send him a message. Yeah. Sorry about that, folks. I had our event coordinator come over, having a little chat with us. All right, so just catching up on the movement phase here, or the shooting. Let's see what's going on. We might have even flipped into the other turn. So for Michael's turn, it looks like he has scored. He scored that link ley line for 10 points, and then he's got that attuned to Gyran for a clean 15. Now we're going into the bottom of 1. And looks like Randy's just doing all of his hero phase stuff. The prayers, spells, yeah. Looks like a +2 to movement prayer from the Assist Witch, or, yeah, I believe so. Or the Harbinger, I guess the only 2 options. Looked like Michael's spending his CP here. He's going to go for a prayer manifestation, I believe. He's going for bleeding skulls. Did not hit the 4. Okay. Randy's just debating if he wants to go in on that dog unit. Michael's got possibly 4 control score total between the 2 dogs and the 2 on Khorne. Looks like he is just going for the auto 6 on these plague bearers, unless he rolled a 6. No, I don't see anything. Yeah, he went down to 1 CP there. Yep. Probably a wise choice. Getting those plague bearers up to the half the field is this early in the game is really good, because if they get caught somewhere too late, they don't really do much. But they're such a good tar pit, and they've got a bit of DPS to put on some squishy targets like those dogs. Wow, Nurgling's running another 6 inches here. Everything's catching up. Going up equal with the plague bearers if they wanted to. like the Demon Prince is following up. It's got a little nurgling screen support there. Interested to see if the Rot Swords are going to do the signature move and just go sit on the center objective for the rest of the game. "20 Rot Swords versus 20 Bloodletters, sorry, is quite the interesting matchup. It looks like Randy has left the strategic pocket here for this Lord of Plagues to sit in. Slova Knights coming up the right side. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if the Slova Knights, they have an ability on a 3-up, they hit an enemy unit with a Strike Last ability, if I'm not mistaken. Just quite some nice utility, and they're pretty fast in comparison to the rest of the list, of course. So it gives you a bit of speed and a bit of utility in that combat phase, so you can dogpile onto one thing, hit them with Strike Last, and just keep going until they're gone. Looks like Randy's just debating where he wants to put Rodicus and all the 3 heroes back there. Looks like Belga's running. Oh yeah, just pulled up the War Scroll for the Slova Knights, and it looks like it's even better than I thought. It's a 3-up normally, but they get a +1 to the roll if they're in combat with any other Rotbringer units. So, in conjunction with the Rot Swords here, you're hitting a 2-up on the Strike Last ability. It's pretty substantial. So a 2-up Fight Last, that's something you can rely on. Now we got Rodicus just pushing up the center here. Just projecting that no recursion aura for sure. There's the Harbinger of Decay pushing up behind the Slova Knights. I wonder what Randy's strategy is for this turn. Is he going to try to flip? I don't think it's feasible to flip the ley line into his favor, but he could take the blue and the green objective, the left green objective and the center blue objective just this turn, possibly score some. He could probably start his Wrathful. If he's able to turn both of these objectives into his favor, he'll start his Wrathful. He'll probably control the center, which doesn't really mean much, but in regards to tactics, that is. Now for Restless Energy, it is if you take a battle, you complete this battle tech at the end of the turn if you control an objective that was controlled at the start of by your opponent at the start of the turn. So he would pop both Wrathful and Restless here, taking both of these here. And I think the Plague Bearers have already secured this green one. I don't know if Michael. Yeah, it looks like they're past the point of redeploying, so Michael doesn't really have enough control to contend with those Bloodletters. These Plague Bearers, sorry. Now we're into the Randy's Maggotkin of Nurgle charge phase here, and it looks like he nailed that Demon Prince charge into the Bloodmaster and the Blood Letters here, and then right after that he's got these Rot Swords pushing up the center onto this unit of reinforced Blood Letters and Bloodmaster. Now I think the plan is to get the Sloven Knights in there and hit that 2-up for that Strike Blast ability. That would really give the Rod Swords the time they need to just start wailing on these Bloodletters. Looks like they made it. Basically covering that entire objective with Maggotkin of Nurgle models.
All women have giant boobs, so.
Going down to charge phase abilities now. I'm sure Michael is waiting in the wings to do some charge phase abilities as well. Randy's just debating where he wants to put his rampage. I believe this is the Corpulent Avalanche from the Godmark Ascendant. Let's pull it up real quick. Yeah, Corpulent Avalanche is a very good heroic trait for the Maggotkin of Nurgle here, especially on this. The trick is you put it on the Demon Prince because his movement characteristic becomes 10 with that with the wings. So you get how it works is you trigger at any charge phase when the bear successfully completes a charge, which he did into the Bloodmaster. You roll a number of dice equal to the model's current movement characteristic, which would be 10 with the wings, of course. And then you pick a visible enemy unit within an inch, and then every 3-up is 1 mortal wound. So with 10 dice, you can potentially spike pretty hard on mortals. If any damage is dealt, the unit can immediately make an extra 2d3-inch move, passing through combat ranges, provided it ends the movement in combat with that initial target. So not only do you get to spike on mortal wounds, you get an extra 2d3 inches on your charge, basically, to get where you want. Very strong combo here. But on the flip side, it looks like Michael has spent 2 CP to do a counter. Getting that Bloodthirster straight up into that Demon Prince, really trying to show him who's boss. Looks like this is the Rampage and the Bloodthirster, dealing 3 mortals, no ward saves here.
No, I got double ones.
That was the roll for the Realm Splitting Axe on the, I think it's maybe even the I'm not sure if it's Realm Splitting Axe or Wrath of Khorne Axe or something like that. The Khorne Axe flying through the air, you know, fails to kill the Sloven Knight. Going into Randy's activation here. The Demon Prince is going to fight. Putting these attacks into the Bloodmaster. Pretty rough roll there. 6 mortals, no wounds. But Looks like he just eats those 6 portals, goes down. No wards made there. That was into the Bloodthirster, sorry. Players just debating, or not debating, just discussing a couple rules. Declaring, I think he's popping off the +1 attack ability from the Bloodthirster. I think Randy's just debating if he wants the defense or not. So what's happening here is that the Bloodmaster can't really fight in tandem properly because the Bloodletters have been brought down to that strike last phase, or that fight last substep rather, from the Sloven Knights. So they're not eligible for a fight in tandem with the Bloodmaster. Okay, looks like this is a Bloodthirster, I imagine. Or this could be the Wrathax, I'm not sure. Looks like he's activating with the Rot Swords next. Pretty good. A lot of dice to throw here. Now, I believe that last attack was the Wrathax into the Rot Swords. Only doing 2 damage, and I think he warded one of them even. Looks like Randy's just moving in here, piling in with the Rot Swords. Now, I suspect all of these attacks will be going into the Bloodletters as they're probably the ideal target for them. I know, splitting attacks in AoS doesn't really tends to not work out for a lot of people. Speaking from experience, splitting attacks never works. All right, Rot Swords, 3s and 3s here. Counting up the crits here. 3s to wound here. I believe these are all at run 1, but I also think that Bloodletters only have a 5-up save, so a lot of these attacks will hurt. $17 at -1. Quite the volume of attacks. Run 1 here. Six up armor, 6-up ward here.
We sat in the middle of a blob and we sat in the battlefield. We just watched
Not sure how much damage came into the raw swords there. I imagine about 14 wounds or so. Oh no, he saved 4 on the first one, so probably around 10 wounds afterwards. Maybe about 5 Bloodletters pulled. I think he's doing the next attacks considering their strike class. He's going with the Knights. Judging just from the dead pile across the table, he lost about 7 Bloodletters this turn. Very fitting, considering he's playing against Nurgle.
I get screwed by horses all the time, dude. Nice. Hey, look at that!
I think they're just wrapping up the horse attacks from the Sloven Knights.
That's how it goes, too.
Coming in hot with the Bloodthirster here. He's going straight to that Demon Prince, of course. 2s and 2s here.
Hey, 4 Ren 3.
4 at Ren 3, that anti-hero.
That's your phone.
16 damage total coming in on that Demon Prince. Looking pretty grim for him. Maybe he can, I don't know. I think he comes with that 5-up ward being the mark of Nurgle. Ooh. Looks pretty good from here. I'm not sure. He's got 3 wounds on him already. Oh. Now the players just realized that they turned off wards earlier, so. Yeah, that just picks him right up. 16 damage to the face will do that to you, folks. Now we're hitting the end of the combat phase for Randy and Michael here. I believe we're heading finding the strike fast. Looks like he's missing only 5 from this unit. So he's getting about 30 attacks or so. 31 attacks coming back in.
It was just 2 wizards that got into combat. We're just like, we miss all of our attacks. I miss all my attacks. We're like,
Six for mortals. And immortal. I wish that would be so happy.
Coming in with the hit roll for the bloodletters here. And now with the -1 to wound on the broadswords, we're wounding on 4s instead of 3s. Pretty huge debuff.
5, 10.
Only 10 at -1 looking like. Four up saves on the broadswords. 6 go through total. Looking for 5 boards here, including the crit mortals.
no, 3 attacks went through. How much is it? 6 each.
Looks like 3 are going down from the Rotsword side, so looks like the Rotswords came out ahead on that exchange, but for their trouble, they've got now a Bloodthirster in combat with them and no Demon Prince to support them on the side here, so we'll see how the priority roll goes after we score off Randy. Now Randy's got Restless Energy and Wrathful Cycles, of course, as discussed. So it looks like he's going to pop both of those off. Because he's got 3 objectives to Michael's 2, and took 1 objective that he is opponent controlled. So he'll be scoring at least 1, at least 2, and he's got no pairs, it looks like. Yep, so it looks like he's got a 15-point turn. Oh no, 16-point turn. Putting him 1 point ahead. Going in the priority roll here. It's that big 6 on Randy.
Still get it, but
So I think Randy is heavily debating the double turn here. Okay. Looks like Randy's just doing all of his disease at end of turn, of course. A little out of sequence, but, you know, not too far off, so Michael's kind enough to let him go back. Usually not a problem at all. So I ended up doing a disease point, doing a mortal wound with disease, but Michael just rolls a 6 and wards it anyways. Looks like Randy is solidifying. He's taking the double, making Michael that underdog, so he'll get that underdog twist bonus. So his Wrath Axe will get strike first, which is pretty strong. And then if Randy ends up throwing out any manifestations, I think Michael could have a play to link the line again in the center, but moving all of those Sloven Knights and the Rot Swords off that objective is going to be rough, but he does have double Bloodthirster, so he's got one Bloodthirster in combat already, and then the other one in the back corner is just a skip and a jump away from charging in, so it's not too long before we see both of them in the combat with those Rot Swords, trying to desperately get rid of them. Now, that's not to say Randy doesn't have his own support. He's got Rodigus and the heroes, plus the block of Plague Bearers facing off on that left side even. So we'll see where he allocates Rodigus. Well, I think will be the key here for Randy. Michael just debating if he wants to interact with the hero phase here. Increasing the rend on those Bloodletters, making them run 2. It's pretty scary. Look like the -1 to wound spell coming back out on those Rot Swords. Huge debuff again. So that's really what keeps them. It's part of what keeps them extremely durable. Among other things, like a 3-up armor save, 2 wounds a model, ward save that can be increased, I believe, to a 5-up. A lot of good stuff for them. And then that's before their combat profile hits whales in addition to everything. Almost equivalent to Chaos Warriors, I think. Damage spell into the Bloodmaster, also dealing with the Wrath Axe since he's the one who had cast it. 2 birds in 1 stone kind of thing there. Now Randy taking the double isn't going to be able to score either tactic, of course, and it's going to be hard pressed to score Wrathful Cycles later on in the game because he's going to have to drop down to being underdog at some point if he wants to think about taking that. So, and then the second part of Restless Energy for future turns, he's going to have to control every objective within enemy territory if possible, which luckily for this mission is only that back right objective, which is probably going to be left unguarded for an amount of time. So Brandy's might have the opportunity to either touch it with the Sloven Knights, or if they live through that Bloodthirster, or even go for the Nurglings onto it later on. That would be a problem for round 3 or 4, I assume. Casting another spell here. Yeah, that was Crossbite actually. Rodius with the Crossbite. Crossbane's an excellent piece for this, for Maggotkin of Nurgle specifically, I feel, because Maggotkin's pretty slow and they kind of have a moving castle kind of build. So you kind of group up, have this kind of semicircle bubble thing, maybe even like an L shape going. But usually it's your Rot Swords up front, either Pestigors or Plague Bearers on the sides, and then you've got your heroes and your Great Unclean One or Rodigus in the back. So having that extra huge base with that big monster profile on it, not to mention the 3d6 charge against other enemy manifestations. So it gives you a lot of utility, and it can't be banished in one go. It has to be either banished and chopped down in another way, or chopped down first and then banished off to finish it. So Randy will be looking to make a 9-inch charge there, I assume, with them, or he's just using it to defend with his support his defense at his home objective even. Trying to solidify that ley line going straight across the table, I feel.
I was just mostly looking for 2 3s or 2 in there somewhere, and maybe take damage.
Looks like we're going into movement phase of Maggotkin and Nurgle. Now these Plaguebearers got a couple options. They can either slam into these Fleshhounds, or they can help support, do some damage onto the Bloodthirster on the right here. I would assume Randy would try to get all 20 of them onto the objective and just try to hold out against those Fleshhounds and Blood Crushers if possible. It might be a tall order, but with the support of Radagast, maybe they could really have a good contest. Not to mention the Nurglings shuffling up the middle here. Not sure where they're gonna go. The lack of the Demon Prince now is kind of rough, because it would be nice if Randy had that still to go either left or right. I mean, I guess he did trade it for the Bloodmaster ultimately, but trading a Demon Prince, a 260-point Demon Prince for that like 120, 100-point Bloodmaster is kind of rough sometimes, because he didn't really take too much threat off the table. Like, the Bloodmaster is great and all. I guess you took out his prayers, but just the main block of Bloodletters might just out damage that Bloodmaster ultimately. Looks like Randy's just debating what he's going to do here, where he wants to land with these Plaguebearers, Nurglings. I feel we see this a lot, where we have players take the double turn instinctively because they feel that the regular turn order is going to clap them too hard on the next go. And I'm not sure if that was the case here. I mean, Michael does have the 2 Bloodthirsters, but I'm not sure he has enough to actually deal with all the Rod Swords. They did have the -1 to wound still up on him from last turn, so it's hard to say. But now Randy might be in a better position, holding that Khorne Spine, pushing up on the table, just claiming more table ultimately, trying not to get boxed in, right?
I'm so glad. Oh yeah.
Looks like the Sloven Knights are going to retreat here. Taking 2 mortals. And taking them. No wards made. Looks like he's pulling the Sloven Knights back to act as a buffer for that other reinforced block of Bloodletter, so he doesn't just swarm into the Harbinger, swarm into that Khorne Spine too early. Pretty smart. Great position. Just buying yourself a whole nother turn with that, I assume. Because even if he touches Khorne Spine, it's not really. It's pretty much to your advantage at that point. Khorne Spine not only gets to attack, but if he does any damage to Khorne Spine, it was all free, so it doesn't matter. Plaguebearer is pushing up, being aggressive here. Looks like they're just swarming up on that objective, trying to take it, trying to really claim it for the rest of the game, I imagine. Radagast's coming in here, not getting in a position for charging, but really just pushing up the center here. Very interesting. Looks like we have an hour and 50 minutes left, 5-0 minutes. Still left in the round. Should be plenty of time. Now it looks like interesting enough, the Nurglings have pulled back into the deployment zone of Randy here. Just pushing that tree forward. Just trying to use that tree just to really block that Bloodthirster. Even if he piles in 3, he has his 3-inch combat range out, he can't just bonk on Radagast for free, basically, like he really wants to. I think what Randy's really concerned about is the Bloodthirsters coming in and just wrecking house with all of his heroes, taking all of his support pieces out, and really just leaving those rot swords to flap in the wind, ultimately. Oh, yeah, looks like Randy's going for charges here. Interesting, he's going straight into the Flesh Hounds, going off the objective even, trying to maybe bait the Blood Crushers into charging them. Oh. Sorry for the shaking, folks. That's Randy leaning on the camera stand here, trying to get his models. Whoa. The mortal round shake with the steps of Radagast. Very nice. Looks like they're trying to keep the Blood Crushers and that Bloodthirster out of combat with them initially here. That seems to be all the charges. Michael's debating a counter charge here, I imagine. With I assume either the Blood Crushers or the Bloodletters on the right side here. They've got some pretty good distances. Nah, you're good. Sorry about that. Player's just asking me if they messed up the camera here. So he's rolled the double ones on his counter charge, but he's using his Murderlust blood type to re-roll one of the charges. So he's going to take D3 mortals. Or that would be his murder host battle formation. So he re-rolled that 1 into a 4. He just needed a 3-inch counter, so gets that 5, gets in there. Going down to 3 CP from what I understand. Good thing he has that reroll. Randy just activating all of his fight phase abilities here. Getting the +1 attack going off here. He's gonna go no commands on the Bloodthirster. So 3-up roll, unfortunately, he fails it. I think that's from the Harbinger of Decay, specifically. Like one of the combat phase abilities, just doing an extra pile in here, I believe. On the Bloodletters. Really just getting around the side, doing some circles around the Rod Swords, opening the door for the other Bloodthirster to charge on the top right of the screen. I just want to say we have two beautiful models here on the table displayed for us today. We've got this very unique pink wings on the Bloodthirsters, and then we've got this awesome purple and green nice tones on the Nurgle side. And thematically, the Demons versus Demons matchup is very, very on par with what goes on in Age of Sigmar, so we love to see it. Looks like the first activation will indeed be those Rod Swords, throwing all those dice out. I believe they have +1 attack on them. They may have crit 2 hits going out on them as well. A lot of debuff, a lot of buffs, and then not to mention that -1 to wound buff if you want to hit them back. Looks like they might be able to outdamage the Bloodletters here. Michael going to use an all-out defense on these Bloodletters here. Going down to 2 CP. So, just projecting off of what's going on in Randy's double turn here, it looks like he is going to score probably 6 points here for controlling 1, controlling 2, because it doesn't have a ley line and it doesn't have a pair of objectives either. So, I'm not sure this double turn was entirely worth it, but I guess it did prevent him from getting charged straight up by Michael's Bloodthirsters and the Bloodletters as well. So. Looks like they got a +1 to wound as well. 3's to hit, 2's to wound. And then they've got crit 2 hits in addition to all that, so really good. the wound from what I understand. Wow. Only one dropping off there. That's a substantial amount of wounds here. Wow, 37 wounds at -1 ren. It's a good thing he spent that all out defense. So he's looking for 5-ups into 6-up wars for these Bloodletters to stick around.
I'm gonna grab this for you in a second.
We have a dice overboard, as is tradition. Now here's that initial 5-up armor save because he all-out defense here. Followed by the 6-up ward save. Wow, looks like 22 damage went through on there, which is 11 Bloodletters. I think that leaves about 3 or 4 left, I believe. But what matters is that they're alive. For now.
And you'll be able to organize them better later.
Alright, looks like there's 5 left after all of that. He's gonna go swing with the Blood Crushers next on Michael's activation. Trying to pick off some Bloodletters if possible. Or some Plague Bearers, sorry. Getting the demons confused out here. Mice want to hit kicking in from those Plague Bearers, meaning that they're hitting on 5s here on the mounts, I believe. These are the Riders, which will be hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s, crit mortals. They're coming in with 1 red run in addition to 3 mortals so far from the Riders. Looks like Randy spent an all-out defense there, pretty wise, because he had a 5-up. He would have been pushed to a 6-up save, basically. Now retaining his 5-up save. He only lost, but that looks like 2 Bloodletters total, or Plague Bearers total. Probably going to come in and activate those Plague Bearers before the dogs have a chance to munch on them too badly. just getting the dice together for the attacks on the Bloodletter or the Plague Bearers into these Flesh Hounds. I think it's 4s and a 3s of this profile. Crit 6s do something. Looks like we're doing 1 no rend into these Flesh Hounds, and then 6 mortal wounds. Just going straight into wards here. I think the dogs are either 3 or 2 wounds a pop, so. They can drop 2 dogs off of that activation there. Which is about 6 attacks. It's something. Plague Bearers aren't really known for their combat prowess anymore. Drop them after they got dropped down to 1 attack a model instead of 2. They're 4 attacks a model even, so 8 attacks gone. But I think it's roughly 32 attacks, looks like. Maybe 33 with a champion. The -1 to hit kick again, he's going to be hitting 5s to hit, 3s to wound on this profile. Three is a wound on this. Looks like about 5 wounds go through straight towards on these Plague Bearers. Probably dropping about 2 more Plague Bearers total there. Callahan coming in now. 5s and 3s on his profile. -1 to hit really hurting him. Didn't do anything, unfortunately. Plague Bearers really held up there. Wow. That -1 to hit is really, really saving them. Such a good tar pit with that. Now the Bloodthirster has something to say. Oh wow, he's piling in, deciding to fight the Plague Bearers over the Rot Swords here. Probably a wise move, as the Plague Bearers are only -1 to hit, where the Rot Swords have got that -1 to wound, but also have that 3-up save. They might have a decent ward right now as well. Looks like the Bloodthirster clocked in for 15 damage, if I'm not mistaken. Or 16. Yeah, 15 damage, yep. Going straight to ward saves, of course. So it looks like 3 and the floater is enough to kill 4 models here. So the Bloodthirster did do a lot more damage than everything else here. Naturally, he's a 400-point model. He needs to. he's got, to round out this combat phase, we've got the Bloodletters sitting in the middle here for Michael.
Okay.
16 attacks coming in here. Into the Rot Swords, of course. Three is the wound on this. 8 red one coming in on those Rot Swords. Going towards now. Looks like he pulled about 2 Rot Swords get popped off there from those five Bloodletters swinging in. That should conclude the combat phase. Going for diseases. Giving disease onto that Bloodthirster. This is disease on Bloodletters for 1 mortal. And then the Bloodthirster. Take 3 mortals. And he'll block 1. Getting that chit damage down. Very substantial. All right, let's take a look at objectives. It looks like he's got the score 1, score 2, but he doesn't have a pair and he doesn't have a linked lane line. He looks like he's scoring 6 points here for 22. Let's see if I can let's see if I can spot. Looks like Michael's down to 1 CP. There we are. I think we have the CPs correct now on the screen. A couple of those Nurgle buffs fall off because they're until just the end of turn, not until start of next round, or start of next player turn rather. Looks like Randy has 3 CP, it looks like. I thought I was correct. He must have jostled his dice a little bit during the gameplay. Happens a ton. All right. Top of turn for Michael. Ooh, looks like the Bloodthirster is retreating out of combat and going straight down to this left side here. He's going to retreat the Blood Crushers as well, taking 1 mortal. Interesting move to do the retreat move, but it could be to score that juicy scouting. Or no, I'm sorry, he's doing Master of the Paths and Attune to Gyrand here. So doing the 2 retreat moves to get that second part of Attuned will be really clutch here. Looks like Karanak is teleporting his Flesh Hounds. Just repositioning to the right side of the board here. Getting an angle on that right green objective. And just like that, the whole left side is gone and redispersed across the board. Very cool. Bloodthirster coming in, trying to put the hurt on that Raw Sword unit, of course. Supported by the other unit of Bloodletters that has yet to see combat. Probably going to slap around the Sloping Knights. Now it's up to Randy's if he wants to do a redeploy. Moving the tree. No redeploy. Going to shooting. Shooting for Khorne. A double Bloodthirster. No shooting. Get absolutely lied, no shooting. Straight to charges. Here comes a Boomthirster here. He's got this is the one that every crit will do an explosion of D3 plus 3, I believe. Or no, just, I think it's D3 plus 2 even.
Trace in the chair, and I didn't constantly think, oh no, I didn't sit on that.
That's all the charges from Michael. Up to Randy if he wants to counter charge. He's got 3 CP, so he does have an option. No counter charge. Looks like he doesn't really want to. The only option would be, I guess, the Plague Bearers charging back into the Bloodthirster, and that doesn't seem like a wise move for these Plague Bearers. Ooh, he looks like he is going for it. Wow, rolling a 10 on that counter charge. So it looks like Michael's in line to get that second part of the Tunic Iron because he retreated with 2 units here. He retreated the Scourge of Gyran, Blood Pressures on the left here, along with his Bloodthirster, and then the 2 units that he charged are the other Bloodthirster, the Boomthirster, and this other squad of Bloodletters. So very well done from Michael, setting up that Attuned to Gyran extremely well, back-to-back, round 1, round 2 like that. Just trying to see what we can get with these Plague Bearers, basically. He rolled a 10 on that massive counter charge, so now the options are limitless. It's always crazy when this kind of stuff happens. You're not sure it's quite possible until you get the dice and see how far you can go. Wow. Bear with Randy, folks. He's moving his Plague Bearers on the thing here. He's just jostling the camera stand, basically. No worries, folks. All right. 10-inch counter charge completed. Pretty substantial. So it seems Randy's taking the opportunity to just jolt the Plague Bearers back over to center objective, seeing as Randy has completely abandoned the left side, leaving that green objective in control of Randy right now. Now, I'm not sure what else. Not sure what Michael's plan is to do about that last green objective, or if he's just going to start smacking stuff and hope for the best. Doing the free pile-in with his 5-phase ability here, or I guess it's a free move.
Let me do my other shit.
Coming with that free move again on this unit. Broadsword's 3 up for +1 attack, of course. Getting that off. Substantial buff. 3 up for no commands on the Bloodthirster. Looks like he's no commands on that Bloodthirster. And it looks like the Sloven Knights hit that fight blast onto the Bloodletters, but I thought that was only if in the turn that they charge. Could be mistaken. I, of course, am not a Maggotkin of Nurgle player. So it looks like Randy spent 2 CP in the charge phase of that nasty counter, and now he's spending the final CP to all-out defense against that Bloodthirster that's fighting his Rot Swords. Six attacks, 3s of 2s into these Rot Swords, hoping for crits. Wow. He's got 2 of the crits here. Now there's quite the grouping for models here on the Nurgles. So it looks like he's hitting everything. It stops right in front of Rodigus, so it's going to hit the tree, the Plague Bearers, the Rot Swords, the Lord of Plagues, and the Sloven Knights here. So guys, 2d3 mortals is what the spread is on that damage. Looks like enough mortal wounds to pop a Sloven Knight. 4 mortal wounds onto that Feculent Gnarlmaul. Lord of Plagues took the max damage, 6 damage, straight to his ward. He took 2 out of 6, apparently. Huge ward save roll. They were just resolving the booms first, and now we are doing the resolution of attacks into the Rot Swords here. Looks like quite a bit of damage here, going straight to the ward. Maybe about 10 wounds here. say 2 out of 10, so 8 damage coming in onto that pool of the rod swords, taking 4 models out. The rod sword just pushing up that center here, possibly allocating attacks into that Bloodthirster. Not sure if it would be better to polish off that Bloodletters unit or just completely throw all your attacks into that Bloodthirster while you can, while you still have models up. Alright, looks like there is 18 attacks coming in here. Coming in here, 3s and 2s. Crit 2 hits here. Twos to wound.
What's a 6? It's a 6 or a 5.
13 wounds coming in at Ren 1 here on the Bloodthirster. Quite a bit of damage. Not enough to kill him, of course, but it's definitely a decent chunk of his health if he doesn't make enough wards or armor saves here.
5s.
Looking for 5s here.
Bracket at least.
5 up ward.
5s.
Took 5 damage there. Pretty substantial, but nothing too crazy. Okay, looks like we're coming in with this 5-man unit of Bloodletters just chilling up in here. Not sure what they're gonna put their attacks. They will be -1 to hit into the Plague Bearers, I imagine.
Give it to me. I want it for you! Dang it!
Looks like we got 11 attacks coming from the 5 with Champion here. 3s. Looks like the -1 hit is not active right now. Looks like 7 damage here. Straight through the armor of the Plague Bearers, of course. These wards are coming out crazy. They're like a 50% success rate on some of these save rolls. They're coming in clutch for the Maggotkin and Nurgle player. He's going to go ahead and do the Sloven Knights now, I believe. Oh, no. He's got the Plague Bearers, because he doesn't necessarily need to activate the Sloven Knights first due to the fact that the Bloodletters over there on the right side are under the Strike Last ability. 2 and no red into those bloodletters. Just the plague bears attacking, of course. Nothing too crazy out of them anymore.
They live another day. One guy doesn't, the rest do.
Dropping a whole bloodletter, it looks like.
The other night, and I claim you. I cannot go away from it.
Looks like the attacks from the Slovenites coming in here on the bloodletters on the right side, doing only maybe 1 or 2 wounds, killing 1 model. Looks like we got 16 bottles there, so clocking in at 32 attacks, or 33 attacks, right? With the champion, of course. So, and look, now this is probably one of the first times we're seeing the bloodletters actually swing at full force without any debuffs on them. So this should do quite a bit of damage. I have high hopes for the bloodletters clearing out these 2 Sloven Knights remaining, but we'll see after the dice roll, of course. Threes and threes on these. 6s, of course, are doing crit mortals. Getting quite a few crit mortals so far. At least 6.
Not against the rat swords. That's what they sometimes do. I had a game where I killed everything but the rat swords. I just killed the rat swords. I won the game 40 points and I'm still mad. And I fought for 5 fucking rounds. It was a bit bullshit, I won't lie. I love the army. I fucking hate fighting rat swords. Threes. No, it was a 1. It was a miss that I was pulling out. 5, 10, 12, Ren 2.
12 at Ren 2 coming in here. Ren 2 because he had put the ability previously in the hero phase that increased the Ren on these bloodletters by 1. Looks like going straight to war with this damage here, seeing how much is actually going to get through.
Damn, dude, are you kidding me?
Wow, looks like close to another 50% success rate on these 5-0 boards. But still, you know, I think he did exactly enough damage there to get rid of those 2 slow knights. Extremely close. Hot rolls on Randy's side with these ward saves.
Alright, control 1 and control 2. I did get my second tune, and I get master because I killed for Ren. So I had a 15 point turn. Yep. Priority. Fuck yeah, I do. You know I do, motherfucker. You smack me, it's my turn to smack
All
you.
right. Now, looking at the end of the bottom of round 2, Michael's scoring. It looks like he got Master of the Path for killing a hero. I think he killed either the Cyst Witch or something else with that Boom Thirster ability. So he's scoring 10 points for scoring the second part of Attune, first part of Master. And he scored 3 for 1, and he scored 3 for controlling 2. So he's scoring a 16-point turn here, putting him up to 31. And now we're moving into round 3. It looks like Michael won the roll-up and is giving the return double turn now. Now that would solidify Randy as the underdog right now.
Blood Thirster, another one. No. Blood Crushers. No, to total. Yeah, but until he died.
All right. Just doing all the disease now from last end of turn, of course. Excuse me, folks. I'll be right back. I just got to use little boy's room, take a little break, get some water. Please enjoy the players rolling dice.
Obviously, if I'm going to manage to roll, it's exposed to your full guy, but you still take the exposure for everyone. You'll also get a give us a run by star. No, I don't unbind him from our mystic. Here's Karanak. Karanak also. Alright. Mother your face crash. kind of seems like that.
All right, folks, and I'm back. All right, time to play a little catch-up. It looks like Michael started off his turn strong, moving out. Doesn't really have much of a hero phase anymore, outside of popping off the occasional rally or whatnot. I guess this Bloodthirster on the bottom left side has the potential to grab a place of power on Vine, I suppose. And now we're just going through. He's doing all his movements. Karanak in that reinforced squad of dogs did this double back where they teleported off the objective, then back onto it the following turn just to claim it. Excuse me. And it looks like he's making a play, definitely has the pair for the extra 2 points there at least, and then if he is able to shift that blue objective into his favor somehow, then he'll be in good shape to score a 10-point turn here without the tactics, of course, since he's doubling. Now, Randy, I caught earlier when I was coming back, he spent 1 CP doing a magical intervention, putting the -1 to wound spell on Rodigus himself. So he doesn't want Rodigus going down right now. That would be pretty sad. Excuse me, folks. I think we're going for a bit of shooting here. Sorry about that, folks. Thought the stream cut out for a moment. Looks like we're back and ready to go.
We're living life, baby!
Looks like we're going straight to charge phase. I'm not sure if anything consequential came of that shooting. I think it is all a wash in the end. Charges. Looks like that the Bloodthirster that initially retreated as part of the attuned Gyrium battle tactic has charged back into the center here.
Hey,
5-inch charge for these bloodletters. More than enough to get them to the center. I would imagine their goal for this turn is to clear out the rest of the rod swords along with those bloodthirster. If Michael's able to just lift the the plague bearers and the broadswords, along with that Lord of Plagues, I suppose, and possibly that tree, he'll have a really good footing or a foothold onto this battle plan and this mission for the rest of the 2 rounds, I think. Because I think Randy will be extremely hard pressed to take either any of the objectives back from Michael, because Rodriguez is pretty slow. He's not really a powerhouse in combat initially, especially against multiple bloodthirsters. So and Kronspine is Kronspine, only goes so far. So doing a roll and charge with the Juggernaut, seeing how far they can go. Not sure if that's going to cut it. Oh wow, looks like that 8-inch charge. Straight into whatever foot hero, or I think the Nurglings is what he was going for. Staying out of combat of Rodriguez, of course. Charge phase abilities popping off now for Michael, and I suppose Randy will debate anything. I don't know if he's going to want to do a counter with Rodriguez or not, but getting him in the mix earlier rather than later might be the play. Unfortunately, it does look like Rodriguez's base is too big to fit through some of these places. The tree's a little more forgiving than the bases themselves, obviously, but the models, it looks like there's a point here where there's Lord of Plagues and his Harbinger are sitting that might be too narrow for that big base to fit through.
If you also agree. Alright. Fight base abilities, that's you. Throw 8 portals at your guy, you get no wards. 4 ups. I'm going to pop that for the damage. I'm going to E4. 4 in, or no wards.
Looks like it did 4 mortal wounds and no wards there. Onto that Lord of Plagues from that rampage on the Bloodthirster.
Sometimes he dies really fast, and sometimes he lives forever. My dice let's do it. Good on that.
Doing those fight phase pile-ins with the bloodletters, it looks like. Getting those 3 up +1 attack never fails, of course. Lord of Plagues, I think he's probably 3 for 3 on those +1 attack ability.
I'm not fighting with a burst. I'm going with the Bloodthirster.
Activating with the Bloodthirster on the left here first. Looks like he's throwing all the attacks into... Oh, he's deciding now. Getting ahead of myself. Oh, he's splitting. Wow, a big split. Triple split. 2, 2, 2. 2 in the tree, 2 into the Lord of Plagues and 2 into the Plague Bearers, I believe. Right. So, looks like he's going to go ahead and commit to the huge split. Let's see how it works out. These are into the Feculent Normal, 2 at Ren 2, it looks like. Which goes straight through.
I'd be so mad. Thank God. If you rolled that many 5s, I don't know what to do, dude.
Looks like the tree was left on just 1 wound anyway, so pops it off no problem, even after the wards. And here's the 2 attacks from the Lord of Plagues. Now these ones will have an anti-hero +1 Ren. Only 1 rune going through at Ren 3 though. And no wards on these, so he just kills them with that damage. And now here's the final 2 into the Wrath Swords. I was mistaken before. Two at Ren 2 into these Wrath Swords here. Looks like the 5 damage does go through there. I think there is, I can't really see on the camera. Let's take a look here. It looks like there's about 5 Rod Swords, 6 Rod Swords left there. So they're really holding on, really going to showcase well how durable this unit of Rod Swords can be for Maggotkin of Nurgle. Please forgive Randy, he's leaning on the camera stand here. No, he's leaning on it. It's okay as long as he doesn't go too far, basically. It's fine now, yeah. It's not going to mess up the shot or anything. There we go, folks. Randy was given that heavy lean on that one. We just didn't want the whole thing to flip over. It would be the end of the day for us if that happened. Not to mention these players might have a few broken models. I believe he has the Rot Swords attacking back. Coming in with that awesome profile, 3s and 2s, of course. Now, it's a good thing he got that +1 attack off before the Lord of Plagues died, but this will be the last turn with the buffs from that Lord of Plagues. Looks like Michael's just saving some time here, doing his piling real quick on the blood layers up there. These are the attacks back from the Rot Swords into a Bloodthirster that has not swung yet, I believe. I believe he's trying to take down that Boomthirster before he causes too much more damage. So he was already chunked once before this, so we'll see how much damage comes through on him. Wow, 8 wounds coming through, putting him up to 2 wounds remaining on that Bloodthirster. Extremely close, putting him on death's door, basically. Looks like there's nothing else to allocate attacks in him, so he might be safe for activation. mind, you can just go in for the Bloodthirster to activate right now. Looks like he all-out defensed on that Bloodthirster from the Rot Swords. Didn't want him to die, obviously. Getting one boom off here. Popping 3 mortals onto the Rot Sword specifically on this roll. Popping another max roll of 3 onto the Plague Bearers. Just rolling out the mortals here. I think it was 3 mortals on the Rot Swords, 3 mortals on the Plague Bearers. And now we're just resolving the attack from the Bloodthirster itself, the 5 damage thing. Well, he saves 4 out of 5. That's an insanely huge spike for wards here. Yeah, exciting. A huge upset. Huge upset. Yeah, usually something that just picks up models did a single wound to a Rot Sword just now. I'm not sure what's left for combat. He might be down to scoring. I'm going to go ahead and speculate what the score will be for scoring for Michael here. It looks like I think we're looking at a 10-point turn, considering we don't get tactics here because this is a double turn. So I'm thinking we get a 10-point turn for Michael. We do have now that I'm looking again, we have the Blood Crushers and these Nurglings coming up here. Yep, here we go. Nurglings piling into those Blood Crushers. Crit 6s are auto wounds on these Nurglings. Looks like we got about 40 minutes left in this round. This one's been a bit of a slog, but as the game progresses, we are getting less and less models on the table, so it's taking less and less time to resolve each round, score up the points here, slowly but surely. Looks like those Skull Crushers are just piling in here. And it looks like they're allocating attacks into that smaller hero to the right of the Nurglings. 2 of them are going to that hero. That's the Witch. I think that's the Sis Witch, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Belga, the Sis Witch. That Master of the Path earlier was completed by killing that Demon Prince, by the way. Now that I'm reviewing everything again. Wow. These ward saves are off the chain.
Here's the Juggernauts, 4s and 3s. God, there's some
These are just the Juggernaut attacks now.
I've only made all the damage. And then here's into the Nurglings.
Looks like he was able to pop out about 3 damage on that assist switch. Unfortunately, if Randy was a little more average with his ward rolls, she would probably be gone by now. 4 damage on her even. Yeah, very unlucky. Got Plague Bearers left to attack now, I believe. Here come the Plague Bearer attacks into those Bloodletters up top. Looks like 5 wounds coming through onto those Bloodletters. 5s and the 6s, I imagine. Throwing in 1 mortal wound into the pool from the Plague Bearers. Looks like he killed those Bloodletters exactly 5 wounds and 5 wounds remaining. So he looks like he can spread the disease. So on a 3-up roll, he gets the disease to spread. Looks like these Bloodletters are piling in as the final activation as well. I thought they had already swung, but that's just me not paying attention, of course. Yeah, these ones pretty juiced up from what I imagine. They're +1 rend. They might have a few debuffs on them from Nurgle, but we'll have to find out. Counting out the attacks for the Bloodletters here. I think there's definitely over 10 Bloodletters, so about 12 or 13 Bloodletters. Yeah, 13 Bloodletters swinging to the Rot Swords, really trying to just polish them off officially. We'll see. So I think the linchpin here for Randy is if those Rot Swords fall, the gates are open for Michael to just move around. That opens up that rear Bloodthirster and potentially the middle squad of Bloodletters, assuming those Plague Bearers fall sequentially. So the Rot Swords do have the -1 to wound buff on them, or debuff, depending. Michael's going to go ahead and spend a CP to all-out attack here. So it looks like you've got 40 attacks here, 13 times 3 +1 for the champion. So many dice, he can't hold them all. 2's to hit here. Rolling second volley here. These are all hits he got here. He pulled out his crit mortals. Looks like he got 6 crits so far. Looks like 8 mortals coming through here, a pretty substantial amount. And now he's looking at 4s to wound due to the debuff of the rod sword, the -1 to wound coming in. Clutch, always. I feel your chances to lift this unit are whenever they fail that -1 to wound spell, I think it is. But still, I think it's so easy to cast for them, it might not just be that simple, even. It looks like he passes 3 of those. Then going to wards after that. Plus the 6 or 8 mortal wounds rather. So I'm not sure if it's quite enough damage to lift them with this attack, but we're getting very close to the time where the rod swords fall off the table. Going straight to wards here. Let's see how good his ward roll is. Wow.
The one word save you needed.
Wow. In a crazy turn of events, Randy actually started failing his ward saves, so they do get lifted off the table. So, scoring for Michael at the end of this turn. Confirmed scores 10 points here, putting him up to 41. Just catching up on a few abilities there. I think we're rolling out disease here or something. Oh no. Some sort of splash damage, it looks like. Disease there we are. Now we're up to disease. Rolling 3 wounds on that guy, on that bloodthirster with 2 mortals left. Wow. He's gonna make 2 out of 3. Oh, looks like that bloodthirster falls to the disease. Wow, that solves that problem very quickly. Although there's still 1 more bloodthirster and a whole pack of bloodletters still on the table. I think we're all caught up heading into Randy's bottom of round 3 here. Wow.
He could not make up his mind. I saw
The most ambitious 3-up roll.
Yeah, that's what his problem was.
So it looks like he's popping off the Mage Eater. He's -1 power level this turn, Rodriguez is. So he can, probably in a crucial turn where he needs it left. He's lost power level on Rodriguez and lost power level on Assist Switch.
So, 30 minutes left. When you're done with your match, there's a card to each other for 60.
Just like he's flinging out a bunch of spells and debuffs here. You're gonna have the -1 to wound spell on Rodriguez, I imagine. He's gonna get the 1 unbind here from the place of power right now. We just have Michael debating if he wants to have an hero phase interaction. Spending some blood tithe. Going ahead and popping the no charge abilities and giving Khorne increased Ren. So for tactics on Randy's side, it looks like he's in good shape. He did get double turned here, so he swaps to the underdog, of course. It looks like Michael is just going back and doing an ability here. Him and Randy just had a little conversation about it, and Randy is nice enough to let him go back, even though this is out of sequence here. Michael forgot to power through here, so Michael would go down to 1 CP. And he's trying to back up this Bloodthirster, essentially. Basically just repositioning our Bloodthirster onto the left side green objective, so Randy has a harder time deciding where he's gonna land, basically. So he's coming in with that Khorne spot, which I believe the underdog twist gives you strike first on manifestation, so I believe that Khorne spine rocks in with that strike first, and then supported with Rodriguez, you can do quite a bit of damage between the pair. I suspect that Rodriguez is tied up on. I'm not sure if Rodriguez is within 3 inches of these Skull Crushers here on the left, or if he's just free to move this turn. I think Randy's debating on where to put things right now. This turn might be very crucial. He needs to make sure he's scoring and standing in the right spots here. It seems that the Harbinger is moving to the right to shut off the ley line and the pair for his opponent Michael here, which is probably very wise. Now let's just take a look at his tactics here. So Randy, is he going to be in shape for the Daring Resurgence? So he's going to be the underdog, so he's already got that part down. And there's at least 1 friendly unit on the battlefield, and at least half of the friendly units on the battlefield have used the fight ability. So if we go ahead and take an account here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units, not counting the Khorne spine, I believe, on the table. So he has to have at least 3 of them use the fight ability. So as long as the Nurglings, the Plague Bearers, and Rodriguez fight this turn, he will be in good shape to get that Wrathful Cycles pulled off. And now as far as Restless Energy goes, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to control that red objective at the end of this. Even though it's a real easy, you can just walk onto it, they just might not have the mobility. Or on the flip side, he could retreat the Plague Bearers out, but then he would have to commit something else to fight this turn, as they would not be eligible for the Wrathful Cycles, because he would have to not have enough fighting, using the fight ability really. Alright, looks like we're down to combat phase, and now the Bloodletters get to do their free move. I believe this is part of Murder Host that allows them to get this extra 3 inches of movement here. As long as they end in combat with something, it's a little different than a pylon. Sorry, folks, we have a TO call. Separate game, of course. Looking like we're going to the combat phase here. Rodriguez did make that charge, of course, but the Plague Bear or the Bloodletters have kind of used their ability to pull away a little bit. Regardless, he's still going to be able to activate and fight. Right, so it looks like he'll be in perfect shape to get the at least three activations on the fight, getting that Restless Energy here. Or sorry, Wrathful Cycles rather. Oh no. Wow, this profile was a 2s and 2s here. This isn't all that attack he spent on Rodriguez here. Very wise. Need to get some damage through. But unfortunately, he Snake Eyes the best profile, the 2s and 2s profile. This one, he hits all of them. Maybe not the best profile, but this one. Looks like Michael did indeed pop the all-out defense. I must have missed that. So it looks like he's looking for 6-ups. These are 4 damage a pop, so any 6 will help, which he does pop. He does knock one out of the pool, so he's looking for 12 damage here. Sorry, these are 3 damage each for 9 damage total. Math, folks, it's very hard. Here comes the final profile. sneaking in one more damage onto those bloodletters. So I think the trick is here, Michael is going to pile in here, potentially denying the Kronspine's attack, but the Kronspine did charge, so it is eligible to pile in 3 inches still, so it's got a 6-inch threat. I'm not sure it's going to be able to escape it. It's such a big threat with that. Yeah, it's most definitely going to be in still, but even then, Michael activating the Bloodletters now is probably a good choice, because I don't feel those Nurglings down bottom are going to be a threat to him, or the Juggernauts.
You only roll good boards when it's bullshit. I know, right? 25 decks.
They got 25 attacks here coming in with those Bloodletters onto the Plague Bearers, of course.
18 minutes left. 18 minutes left.
So we've got 18 minutes left in the round here. So I feel after this battle round concludes, we should be able to get through one more reliably within time. Threes and threes here, no debuffs, shockingly. So the Bloodletters do quite the blunder work without all those debuffs. Mainly it's because they were swinging off to those the Rot Swords this whole game, so extremely more durable.
Thank God, this mattered a lot. Alright, just so we're both aware, everything here's a hit.
Looks like we got about 5 mortal wounds there in the pool, plus all these hits. Looks like we got 19 damage coming through after all the mortals are added. I believe those will be straight to 5-up wards. We'll see how good these are today, or this section. Looks like 8 go down total because he has a floater present right now. But that does mean there's still a lot. I think there's about 2 of them left there. 2 or 3 left. Just stepping on that point still. So I think Randy should have that center and his own objective at the end of this, as well as that right green objective for himself. Look at these little Nurglings attacking those Juggernauts down. it looks like the Nurglings did in fact blow up, or maybe that was yeah, the Nurglings definitely blew up one of these Juggernauts down here, ultimately dropping their attacks a bit. The Juggernaut is able to put 1 foot onto that objective, and it looks like the Nurglings are not on it anymore, from what I understand. So that they've done this nice little dance to trade the objective, unfortunately. Unfortunately for Randy. Ooh. Now he's allocating his attacks into the switch just to dice her down. You know, if she's off the table, that means that's at least one less spell. Oh, here comes the D3 damage from the Juggernaut into the switch. This could be her. Oh, exactly to the wound. 7 wounds exactly. 7 wounds dealt. Looks like he's got Kronspine and Nurglings left to activate. I believe that was actually the Sith switch that punched that Juggernaut down earlier. So she was trying to blow up a few, but unfortunately she did go down, and the Juggernauts are able to step foot on that home objective for Randy. Here comes the Kronspine's attacks, 4s and 2s, the ultimate swinging profile. 4 misses out the gate. Only 1 wound, unfortunately. 3 damage coming in on those Bloodletters. Ultimately dropping 1 guy, leaving a floater behind, of course. Nurglings coming in for the Juggernauts. If they spike hard, they might drop one. And now the Nurglings back onto the objective, outscoring those Juggernauts. Clutch maneuvers. Just the attacks coming in from the Nurglings here. 6 up boards now. Wow, the Nurglings drop another Juggernaut. Looking at the bottom of the round, Randy looks like scoring here. As discussed earlier, he does probably score the Wrathful Cycle second part, and then I don't think he is scoring that invasive species. So he's looking at, he's holding 1, he's holding 2, and he's got Wrathful Cycles, so he's looking at an 11-point turn here for Randy, bringing him up to 32 points. Going into the top of round 4, Michael has won the roll-off, it looks like. Looks like the players are just they're trying to play through, get through all their rounds, essentially. We've only got 15 minutes left in this round from what I understand. So they're just gonna go ahead and roll some crucial rolls while we wrap everything up. It looks like Randy has agreed that Karanak and the dogs would be able to teleport and pounce on him pretty easily. And now we are rolling the attacks from the Bloodthirster into probably, I suspect, into Rodriguez along with all the Bloodletter attacks. The idea is to get all of the attacks gone through. Well, he did get he got exactly 20 damage through. No ward saves. Kronspine folds up with him because he's immediately banished as soon as the wizard that casts him is destroyed. So Michael winning this turn would solidify his lead for sure, basically clearing out everything except the Nurglings potentially there. Just trying to see if Michael can score out his Master of the Path between this round and next round, of course. So basically this round he will be scoring the second part of Master of the Path, and then round 5 he's trying to figure out if he can get to all the corners, basically. So Karanak and the dogs could probably get to one corner. And then he's trying to get his Bloodletters into his home corner, and Juggernaut. Right, so basically what's going down here, what the players have decided here is that Karanak would be pouncing on, round 4 Karanak would be pouncing on the Harbinger with the teleport with the dogs, and then we would have Karanak taking one corner, the dogs, Karanak teleporting to take the opposite corner, the dogs running to get to the far corner for them, down where that Kronspine is hanging out. And then we've got those these Bloodletters going for that home corner essentially in that round 5. So it looks like Michael will be scoring out here. He would be plus 20, sorry. He would be scoring 15 plus 6, plus 5, sorry. 16 plus 15 plus 5, 21, 71. 73 total for Michael with the Blaze of Khorne. And then we would be landing on 34 with the Maggotkin here. Oh, we got the score. There we go, 39. That's where it is. I had your score right. There we are. 76-49, right there on the camera, everyone. Awesome. And I'm just going to have a chat with the players and see what we're going to do next. Potentially get that final interview. There we are, back in the camera.
Hey!
Howdy. Quite the game. That drug out straight to round 5 even. That was quite the slog. But it always is with Maggotkin of Nurgle, isn't it?
Oh, it's always. I've played him in 4 tournaments so far, 3 since the new book. Every single time, it's always a brawl between Bloodletters and the Rot Swords right in the middle of the battle. The first time I encountered Rot Swords, I wasn't sure what to expect. But after going through them time and time again, it's just... You have to throw bodies at them. You can't let them run wild and just smack whoever they want. You have to bog them down with bodies, and at the end of the day, if you can't last long enough, you just suffer.
Absolutely. I seen that you put maybe 6 combats, Bloodthirsters and Bloodletters together into them, and they were still up with like 6 models left. It wasn't until like bottom of 3 even. After he had his double turn and you were able to double back, luckily, we were able to see where you were able to climb out of, basically. So the points were mostly in your favor the whole game, but it was looking that mid-game, he was able to just, if he was able to pin you down and hold you where you were, you wouldn't be able to score anymore is the problem.
Oh, my God. Maggotkin and Nurgle has always had a problem where they struggle, unless they're bringing like a bunch of flies, they struggle to get onto the edges of the board and start scoring objectives. So I just had to, I shoved my Bloodletters up knowing they were going to get bogged down, knowing they were going to just fight. I had to, I'm so good at this matchup at this point, and I'd say that not because I'm actually good at the matchup, because I know how to just deal with Rot Swords, which is throw bodies. Bodies and bodies and bodies.
Yeah. The Rot Sword seems to be the linchpin in most of the lists. Luckily, this list only showcased 20 of them, so we didn't have to see the 40 on the table. So
I don't know what I would. I don't know what I would do with 40.
It seems like nobody knows what to do against 40 of them, honestly.
The good thing about 40 is there's more chances to mess up their buffs, more chances that they fail their buffs. But at the same time, it's still 3-up saves, 5-up wards in the tree. At that point, you have to kill the tree and you have to keep it dead. And if you don't keep it dead, you're screwed. Yeah. But beyond that, I don't know, man.
Yeah, so what did you think about your one Bloodthirster? He ran around with the non-ward. Is that Argath, the King of Blades, that turned off the ward? Yeah, so he was kind of an MVP when he rocked up, turning off wards. He was actually pumping damage through. And then he went into Radagast and did exactly 20 damage.
Oh, yeah.
Him. That was substantial.
So how Blades of Khorne's, how Argath, the King of Blades, does for the army is you have the Bloodthirster who turns them off in melee, like 3 inches around him. You have a Rampage where you throw 8 dice at a guy and every 4-up's immortal. What it does is it's basically the biggest hammer that you can throw at all these gods and all these big heroes like Lot of Aetherian. You throw them at Teclis, you throw them at Radagast, Greater Demons. You throw them at anything that has a big health bar and hit big ward. It's deceptively frail, surprisingly, actually, because it's still only heroes. They get a monster thrown at you, you get an infantry blob. My game 4, they got hit by Varangard that fought Twas and just destroyed my Bloodthirster. He couldn't even get into anyone. But if it's a ward, like a heavy ward-reliant character, like low save, high HP, but a high ward, you need this to turn it off. Or then you're just relying on bearing it under attacks, which is what the mortal part of the army does if they're not bringing a Bloodthirster.
Right.
But for demons like mine that are very frail, but they hit very hard, hit a lot, but it's 5-up save, 6-up wards, like almost across the army besides Bloodthirst and Blood Crusher, but they're only 4-ups. They are not tanky in the slightest. It's really not. So this is the way I get around demons, or get around with demons, is hit them so hard that I don't have to worry about whatever they decide to do next. Because if I can kill them in single combat, that Bloodthirster has paid himself off despite the fact being a quarter of my list. If I kill 2, he's making his points back and more. I could kill 2 foot heroes that have a high ward. I'm confident I can win a game off that.
Right, that's a good point. All right, well, you make a lot of excellent points. I love the showcase you showed off with your Blades of Khorne army, and it was great to see you. I hope to see you at future events.
Hey, man, I hope to come back.
Thank you.